Hi, this is my van. I've been living in this van for 2 months now, traveling the country, and in this video I'm going to show you how I have converted this van for full-time living and everything that I bring with me in the van while I am traveling. So let's get started. Starting with the outside, I have rain guards. There are two 150-watt solar panels mounted to a custom roof rack. I have a max air fan. There are security cameras mounted on all 4 sides of the van. There is a floodlight for security, and there's a rail that a tarp awning can be attached to. I've got a hula girl to keep me company. I keep my hat on the dashboard. This compass is totally broken. I don't know why I have it. Then I have a dash camera, a hook to keep my COVID mask in place, phone mount. I keep my hairbrush up here, sunglasses, Apple. I have a hacky sack, and then this is a monitor for my rear view camera that I installed. This switch disables traction control, also installed that myself, and then I have a knife. It's handy for camping, I suppose, and then spare change. And then back here, we have a vent for my diesel heater. This points right at the windscreen, which is handy for defrosting in the winter time. And then I have hand sanitizer AD20, a remote for my diesel heater, and a radio. All right, so behind the driver's seat, I keep my tow hook, a lug wrench. This is a blower for my boot dryer, jack for the vehicle. These are winter gloves that I don't care about anymore. I have jumper cables, a tow strap, and hose clamps. And then in this case, I have a socket set. And in this bin, I keep a bunch of my tools. And then there is one more bin. And finally, this is a monitor for my B2B charger, so I can see how much charge current there is. This is a switch that allows me to turn that on and off. This turns on my phone charger when the engine isn't running, and this turns on the backup camera when the engine isn't running. And then this is probably the single best feature of my van, and it is a remote for my window coverings. I know it's kind of hard to demonstrate on camera, but it really is dark in here right now. Up here we've got a bear can. I have a down jacket inside the bear can, extra paper towels. I have 2 pairs of shoes. This is a citronella candle. Those are wet swim trunks. I have more shoes, and then behind the seat, I have poles for my awning. This is a cover for my vent fan, so it'll block out all light, so I can black it out in there. Forgot I had these paper plates, but I have paper plates for some reason. And then this is a textbook for my avalanche education course. And then my camp chair usually lives here, but I have it out right now. And then this is a bin that has a bunch of random electrical bits and bobs. And then underneath the front seat, I keep an ice axe, a snow brush, and the tarp for my awning. And believe it or not, I do also have my B2B charger underneath the seat. Since we're talking about the electrical system, let's just take a quick peek back here in the electrical area. Got a whole mess of wiring. I'll go into what all those do later. And then I have this screen here, which will cover up this frame here, and it acts kind of like a window. I can open the door, put a screen there, and have a breeze, which is nice. Then I've got some screwdrivers here. This is a clip stick for climbing. I have heavy-duty zip ties. These are light bulbs, spare light bulbs, a duster, an air compressor, and then all of my fuses live in here. This is my solar charge controller. You can see that's obviously the big AGM battery, 200 amp hours, and then I have a cutoff switch for my solar, my battery, my B2B charger, and then this is a temperature probe. And I will get into what that does later, and then of course the fridge compressor is right here. And then in the door card, I have an aux cable, a sewing kit, packing tape, and screens for the front windows. The glove box contains a smorgasbord of items, most notably the binoculars, tire pressure gauge, sunglasses, safety glasses, and I almost forgot, I have a box of nitrile gloves right underneath the driver's seat, held in with a couple strips of Velcro. Did I mention that my van also is a home gym? Ta-da! Okay, let's take a look at the living space. Now, there's a lot going on here, so I'm just going to talk about everything one by one. This is my boot dryer. It's just that blower pump. These are vacuum hoses. And then I have it on like a PWM driver, so I can decide how loud it is, which is pretty important. This is a control for my party light. There's also an infrared remote. This is where the resistance band attaches for my exercises. Then I have my diesel heater tank. The diesel heater fuel pump is in this special box that I designed to keep it quiet. And then I have extra resistance bands just tucked in there. This is a trowel for you know what. And this is a 2.5 gallon gray water tank for my sink. And then I have a sprayer up here, which is nice for hosing off muddy equipment and boots and keeping my solar panels clean. And then an umbrella. And then moving on, I've got this satellite communicator, which I keep on this hook here for emergencies. This is a tactical flashlight that I found on the trail, and it's super bright, so I figure that's a good thing to keep handy. And then I have sunscreen, bug spray. I don't know why this toothbrush is here. It does not belong there. More sunscreen, tripod, just camera equipment. I keep my microphone here when I'm not using it. Headlamp, and the control for the party light. And then I have a special holster here for the bear mace. And this is my diesel heater control. And then here is a hat and gloves. I have a hoodie, and this is a hammock. Then down here we've got my reading material. This is my first aid kit, and that just kind of lives there, and my Kindle. And then this little pass-through is actually one of my favorite things. I can access it from the front of the van, and then even when I'm in full stealth mode with the shades closed, I can get to what's in there. And right now I just have my wallet, keys, and chapstick, a broken memory stick, and a handful of hair ties. Moving on, we have this, which is a door into the electrical dungeon. There's a thermostat on it so that I can set this to whatever I want, but I have it set to 85. So if it exceeds 85 degrees in there, this little fan turns on and it just circulates air in this compartment, because we do have the AC compressor and then deep in there, the solar charge controller, both that could generate a good amount of heat. So we want to keep it cool and ventilated in there. And then this is the switch for the ski light. Whoa. So this is my bed. It's about 24 inches wide, 6 foot, 3 inches long. It is a latex mattress topper, so it's 3 inches thick, and it's plenty comfortable for me. When it's time for bed, I just flip this up, latch it in place, and it's sort of like a regular bed. I have a comforter, a top sheet, and then a fitted sheet and a mattress cover, all of which were sewn by my mom, so thank you, Mom, for doing that for me. And my mom also sewed up this curtain back here, which is soft and kind of gives me extra space. So like if I move my passenger seat forward more, I get more space if I want it. And then yeah, sometimes I hit my head on this thing or this thing, which is a little annoying, but I've gotten used to it, and it's a worthy compromise to have this, which I use all the time, pretty much every day. Above my bed, I have this space, which is the biggest storage space in my van, and basically all of my bulky items go up here. There's actually a lot of extra room up here right now, and that's because I did laundry yesterday. So this is my laundry bag, and it's basically empty. So once that laundry bag fills up, this space pretty much is completely full. So let's see what we have up here. This is my laundry bag. We already talked about this. This is an ultralight day pack. This duffel bag has lots of my warm weather gear, jackets, shells, gloves, that sort of thing, and a hydration bladder. This bag has all of my indoor climbing gear, so shoes, harness, and chalk bag. This bag has assorted backpacking gear in it. This bag also has assorted backpacking gear. This bag is full of stuff I use for physical therapy. This is a mixing bowl, and this is a climbing helmet. I have a wetsuit. This is a rope bag with a 70-meter climbing rope. This is my backpacking tent. In this bag, I have a 20-degree downfill sleeping bag for backpacking. This is a mixing bowl. This is a ski helmet. This is a big duffel bag. This is a dry bag with other dry bags inside of it. This is a backpacking pillow. This is a backpacking sleeping pad. This is an 18-liter backpack. This is a 35-liter backpack. This is a 75-liter backpack. This is a backpack that is specifically used for snow sports, and in here I have a beacon, probe, shovel, glacier glasses, and other snow sport specific items. And finally, this is my canyoneering backpack, and I also have clothes that I use for canyoneering in here because they get torn to shreds. So yeah, it's hard to believe all of this stuff fits in this space up here, but it does. Okay, so this is my electrical control panel, so to speak. We have the solar input monitor and the battery monitor. As you can see, we're not getting a whole lot of solar right now because we're parked in the shade. And then I can turn both of these off so I can take a nap whenever I want and not deal with that blue light from the monitors. And then this controls the overhead lights. This is the warm dimmer, and then I have a cool dimmer also, so I can very precisely control the temperature and brightness of the light in here. And then this allows me to roll up and down the front windows from the back, which is very nice if I want to get a breeze going. And this switch turns on and off my security monitor, and all of the footage from the security monitor is saved to this micro SD card if I were ever to need it. This is my carbon monoxide alarm, and again, this is a remote for my window coverings, same as the one in the front of the van. And this is my snake plant. Moving right along, I have my clothes in this cabinet, and it's pretty straightforward. I have socks, underwear, leg layers, top layers, shorts, pants, and t-shirts. And that's all I wear because I am a minimalist. So this area is where I keep all of my hygiene and cosmetic stuff. There's not a whole lot going on here. The only interesting thing is that both my shaver charger and toothbrush charger, I figured out how to run on DC because I was determined not to run an inverter in my van. So this is just part of that, and this switch controls those chargers. And this drawer has a bunch of random things: toothpaste, leather treatment, floss, and my AirPods for some reason. So it's just kind of like a random junk drawer. Okay, so this is just a computer speaker. I actually have the subwoofer for it down there and the other speaker up there, but we'll get into that in a little bit. That is a smoke alarm. There's the paper towel holder. My dad created this on a scroll saw, and I think it's pretty cool. I have a hook up here to dry things like this hydration bladder, and then a shock cord line, so if I need to hang up more stuff to dry, I can do that there. There are my headphones, dish towel, and then that is a monitor that comes out on an articulating arm so I can watch movies or use it as a secondary monitor. So I keep the majority of my electronics in this cabinet and in this drawer, and they are locked as kind of like a little extra security measure, but also to keep the drawer and door from flying open when I am driving. So up here I have a mouse pad, keyboard. This is my camera bag for my mirrorless camera. This is the bag for my drone. I have a gaming mouse because I'm a nerd. I have some Nintendo Switch accessories, a portable hard drive, and a USB hub. Now this is a drawer for my laptop. If I need to send a quick email or whatever, I can type it up really quick. This is on 100-pound drawer slide, so it's very sturdy. And then there is a cooling fan underneath, which I can turn on with this switch. And I actually get enough circulation with this cooling fan that I can close the laptop, close the drawer, and just use this monitor. So if I'm watching movies or whatever, my laptop can be tucked away. So this scary little cabinet is where the charger for my laptop lives, the dock lives, and then I have a step-down converter for the USB hub because, again, I don't have an inverter, and that is designed to be an AC product. And then this switches between my laptop and my Nintendo Switch. In this cabinet, I have some more electronics. I keep my GoPro and GoPro accessories up here, and then I have my Nintendo Switch. And then, if you look back here, I have one of those third-party DC chargers for the Switch and HDMI cord, and I have one of those third-party docking stations that you're not supposed to use with the Switch, but the only approved Switch dock works with AC power, so I decided to risk it so I could play Switch on my nice monitor over there. And then this is the hangboard. It's actually more functional than it looks, although I still almost never use it. This is my sink. I have no complaints. It does sink things really well. This is the switch to turn on the pump, and then there are lights there when the pump is on so that I absolutely cannot leave the pump on accident. This is my Flame King cooktop, and for what it is, it works okay enough. So down here below the sink, I have this little cabinet where I keep some soap, some cleaners, and laundry detergent. And then my water tank lives in here. I've got a little Filtrete filter to keep my water tasting fresh. And then I keep my bath towel in here. And here underneath the countertop, there's a lot going on. So let's go through this one by one. This is a switch for my phone charger. This turns on the audio system. And this is the volume control, master volume control for those just cheap computer speakers I have. And then I also have a volume mixer so that my computer is always plugged in. I have a Bluetooth module hidden under the countertop that's always plugged into this. And then I can plug in my Nintendo Switch into this mixer, so I'm not switching inputs all the time. This is an RGB dimmer control for these lights, so I can have any color of the rainbow on my countertop with this control. And then this just turns on these USB chargers and this 12-volt auxiliary plug. This is the pull-out countertop in case I need some extra counter space. So really quick, I wanted to show you how I have the bungees arranged when I'm driving to keep everything in place. And then when I get to my destination, I just quickly undo all of the bungees so now I can get to my stuff. All right, so continuing on, we have more of these shoebox plastic containers. These 2 bins act as my pantry space, and then these 4 bins are my outdoor climbing gear. And I can show you what's in my pantry bin. It's kind of embarrassing. It's basically just candy and tea, and I need to go grocery shopping, but all of this stuff has just kind of built up over time, and I haven't been able to throw any of it out yet. But like, I literally don't have any food that I want to eat right now, and my pantry is full, so I'm going to have to throw something out, unfortunately. And then behind these bins, I have a 12-inch nonstick frying pan that I have not used yet. And then I'm down to my last wag bag, but I wanted to talk about this really quick because there are a lot of places where it is just not acceptable to dig a cat hole. Read the regulations where you're going, understand where you can and cannot poop in the backcountry. It's very important. I see all kinds of toilet paper in the bushes everywhere I go, and it is disgusting. So I just wanted to mention that. Moving right along, I have a frying pan down here. I use this almost every day to make eggs, and then I gave myself a generous space where I can stick my foot so I don't feel constrained when I am sitting here working at my desk. And then this is, of course, a cutting board. So these 2 guys are tie organizers, I think. I got them at Bed Bath & Beyond, and they are invaluable. And wow, there's a lot of random stuff in here. So I have grapeseed oil, nutritional yeast. This is a microfiber cloth, coffee cup, salt, pepper. Got that backwards. Peanut butter, sun-dried tomatoes. This is a wrist exerciser thing. More KT tape, battery bank, secondary phone. Got a bunch of random charging cables. That's an avocado, garlic, bowl. Playing cards, knife sharpener, harissa seasoning, I probably said that wrong, chili garlic sauce. I use this to heat up water for tea. This is all of my silverware. That's a reusable shopping bag. This is a measuring cup, and this is to keep my soda cold. And I use this to measure things and to drink out of. I know you should never drink out of labware, but I bought it new, so don't do that. Behind the tie organizers, we have more food that I'm not eating. I got really into oatmeal, and then as soon as I bought that big bag, I got sick of it. I've got Tupperware, which I use, And then this is like my arts and crafts kit in case I want to color with some pencils or something. I can do that. And then here I have my van life journal where I'm recording everywhere I've been and my private thoughts on the road. And then this is just a folder where I keep stuff. And wait, there is more kitchen stuff. Ta-da! So we've got fire extinguisher, refill for the soap I use. This pot is my second most used thing. A lid, a plate, another cutting board. I usually have gallon bags in here, but I'm out right now. And then I have quart-sized bags. And then this is just like a bunch of random. That's a water bottle cleaner, by the way. This is not used to scrub toilets. It's used to scrub water bottles. And those of you who think this is a toilet scrubber, you should clean your water bottle. Anyways, yeah, just random utensils, can opener. I've got chef knife, paring knife, and then, of course, trash. And I used grocery bags, and I just kind of stuffed the spare bags in there. And I forgot to mention, I have the hatch for my propane locker, so I can get in there and turn that off and on without getting out of my van. Something you should know is that if you're looking at this propane locker and thinking, ooh, I'm going to build something like that, don't. Do your own research, figure out how it should actually be built, and know the risks, whatever. It's a can of worms. Next up, we have this drawer, which is sort of my pantry continued, and then we got water bottles. Some of these I pee in, but some of these I don't. The bananas always right on the tortillas, and that way they don't get bruised. And I have crampons, mountaineering boots, and just random stuff in here. Next to that drawer is my 30-liter drawer fridge, which has stuff in it. Yeah. And this is the final storage compartment. This is a saddle brush, which I use to sweep out my van. And then I have ski boots, which, yeah. Also, I keep my trekking poles in here. I have a stunt kite in here. This is a stick with a sponge zip tied to it, which I use to clean my gray water tank. And then I have 2 pairs of skis. So, yeah. And they are very dusty right now. Holy cow. Unbelievable. I love my skis. Whew, okay, it's getting dark, but I just got a couple more things I want to talk about. One is that my van is fully insulated, so I have 1/2-inch extruded polystyrene underneath the subfloor, and then pretty much everywhere else, like in the doors, on the walls, and on the ceiling, I've used sheep wool to insulate the van. And these window coverings have foil inside of them, so not only does that block out light, but it also reflects heat. So I did some testing last winter, and staying warm in this van hasn't been an issue, at least not yet. And then these are flip-out tables. I use these mostly for food prep. They are coated with epoxy resin, and that just makes them durable and easy to wipe down and sanitize. And then I can use the cooktop standing here at the back of the van, which is really nice. It is a little awkward though. It's kind of tall, taller than you would want a cooktop to be. And that's just one of the compromises I had to make. And that's kind of been a theme with this van, is like I had to make a lot of compromises living in a smaller van. And I have people asking me like, Max, do you wish you had a bigger bed? Or do you wish you had a shower or a toilet or space to stand up? And I think the answer to that is, of course, yes, that would be great. But I am actually really glad I chose to convert a smaller van, because the benefits for me have far outweighed those minor inconveniences. For one, I've been able to take this van down really narrow, winding paths and get to a lot of cool campsites that I wouldn't be able to get to in like a high-top Sprinter, for example. And then maintenance is cheap on this van, it gets good fuel economy, and I don't have a job right now. So by converting and living in a smaller van, I'm going to be able to travel for longer than I would be in a larger van. And that alone is worth it to me. And then I also feel like in a smaller van, you just kind of fly under the radar. I've had no problems sleeping in cities, and honestly in places where I probably shouldn't be sleeping. I feel like people just don't notice the smaller van. It's not the most stealth setup, but I think people just overlook it because it's small. And then this might sound kind of weird. One of the main reasons that I chose to convert a smaller van was to challenge myself. I've always liked the idea of really small, efficient living spaces, and I looked at a lot of Sprinter and ProMaster builds, and I thought, you know what, I could do more with less space. And so that's what I tried to do here. And also it forced me to be intentional with what I bring with me. I don't have a lot of unnecessary clothes or equipment. Everything that I bring with me gets used. And so I'm not here to preach minimalism, but I do think that there is something to that, something to having less clutter in your life, and I do feel like it brings you to a clearer headspace. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about my van build, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer your questions. And if there's enough interest, I might do more videos on my van build, because I know there's a lot of stuff that I kind of went through quickly, a lot of stuff that I glossed over. So there might be an opportunity for me to make another video about this build. And then I'm going to continue uploading videos as I travel. I'm planning to ski a bunch this winter, so I'm going to be staying in mountain towns and in colder, snowier areas. And yeah, that should be an adventure. So hit the red button if you want to see more of that, and then you know what else to do. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Hello, my name is Robot Max. This is my charging pod.